Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm ranking Stranger Things characters on a tier list. It goes without saying that all these are my opinions, my ideas, so if you have any other ideas or opinions, just write them down in the comments. And of course there's going to be spoilers in here, but other than that, let's get right to it. We'll start things off nice and easy with Steve Harrington. Steve Harrington's one of my favourite characters. He shows a lot of growth throughout the series, and he's just going to be an easy top for me, to be honest. Steve was hated by a lot of people in the first season because his character just absolutely sucked. He was known as a sporty kid, that the king of Hawkins High School they called him. However, from second season onwards, he becomes a great character. They really give him a really strong arc that makes him very likable. Next up, we have Murray. Murray, also known as the Bald Eagle, is one of my favorite characters as well. He usually hangs out with Joyce and Hopper, and he's always there as like the comic relief, and he's very, well, mysterious kind of character, but very likable in my opinion. So he goes and everyone loves. Next up we have Max. Max came in the second season as one of the new kids. Personally, I didn't really care about her too much for the first two seasons she was in. However, fourth season, she really got a lot better. She became one of my favorite characters from fourth season. I don't know what was it. Was it a story? I don't know. There was just something about it that made her so much better. I think she goes after Steve, but still, quite high up. Now we have the Demogorgon. Demogorgon is, of course, the first enemy they face. Pretty cool design. I really like the look of the Demogorgon. It's probably one of the weakest enemies they face, to be honest, but, really cool, so I'll probably put them in great. Next one we have Bob. Bob, if you don't remember, was Nancy's best friend for the first, I want to say, two episodes, and she was the first real victim of the Demogorgon. But I didn't really feel attached to her. There was nothing that really made me want to, feel upset when she died. It was more just kind of showing that anyone can die, I think, in this series. So I'm probably going to put her in Mouth Breather, I think. Next up is Alexi, who was a Russian spy turned a lovable side character. He can always be seen drinking his signature cherry drink. Alexi's really fun, and he grows, like, him and Murray grow very close together. Yeah, I really like Alexi, so I'll probably put him in great. I wish we got to see more of him. Next up, we have Suzie. Suzie, I think, came in one of the last episodes of season 3. She's like a side character. She's not a character yet, like a side character like Alexi. She has had barely any screen time. So there's not really much to go off on her. I think, I mean, she's alright. Probably end of grade, I think. The next character we have is Johnathon. Now, this one's an interesting one because I feel like if you ask people from the first two seasons whether they like Johnathon a lot, they'd definitely say they love him a lot. However, in the last two kind of seasons, he feels more like he's just Nancy's boyfriend rather than his own, like, fully fleshed out character. However, in the first two seasons, I really liked him. He was the underdog for most of the time. Well, of course, he got the girl. Um, I'm really torn on where to put Johnathon. He really did nothing in season 4, to be honest. Like, he was barely there, but I don't know. I might need to redo where Jonathan goes, but I think for now, I'll put him at the in front of Suzie for great. Next up, we have Dr. Martin Brenner, or more commonly known as Papa. He is the main antagonist of the first season, and he believes that what he's doing is right, but no one else thinks he's doing the right thing. He pretty much has all the kids with the special powers, and just kind of locks them up so he can, like, test them and all that kind of stuff. They they tried to redeem him, I think. I'm not even sure at season 4, but it didn't really work. He's just not that great of a guy. He's acted well though. I'll say that the actor's done a good job on him, but the actual character, he sucks. Now we have Robin Buckley, who joined in season 3. She's more of a comic relief character. However, I believe that she works really well with Steve and Dustin. Like, that group really works well together. She met Steve at Scoops Ahoy for, at their job, and she kind of got mixed into this whole thing because she knew Russian or something like that. But I'm really happy she's there. She's really, like, I like her character a lot. Behind Murray, I think, because I really like Murray. Now we have the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer is the big bad for season 2. And if you compared him to the size of Demogorgon, he makes Demogorgon look like a baby standing next to a dinosaur. He's the big bad, and he possesses people. Like Will. Will really is in so much bad luck, just the amount of times he gets possessed or. But is he better than the Demogorgon? I think. Well, he causes a lot more issues. I think he probably is better than the Demogorgon, but for some reason I prefer the Demogorgon a lot more. So I'll probably put him in front of Bob, I think. Now we have 11. 11 is the main character of this whole story. She has telekinesis, which, comes in really handy. But it's pretty much just her world and all these other characters are living in it. She's the main, hero of the story. She pretty much stops all the evil. She fights back with her powers. A really cool character, acted very well. Um, I think in front of Murray. I definitely think in front of Murray. Next up, Dustin Henderson. One of the favorites of the cast. He's in the starting cast. Everyone loves him. Dustin's great. His dynamic with Steve and Robin, like I was saying earlier, is really good. I really like Dustin. I think he goes behind Max. Now we have Vecna. Vecna's great. This is major spoilers. If you don't want to hear how season 4, that whole schmackaroony, whatever that is, skip this part. I'll put on the screen where to skip to. All right. So now that you've had time to skip, hopefully, Vecna is great. He is by far the scariest villain they've had to face so far. He's so powerful. His like attacks, he absolutely mutilates people. It's great. Not only that, but I love the way they showed who he really was. Like the build up, everything was given to you, but they really put the puzzle pieces for you, and it was great. I absolutely loved how they did that. Vecna is scary, he's strong, and he's back for season 5. So 100% I like this guy a lot. And the actor, he does great. I'll chuck him in front of Alexi, I think. Next up, we have Will Byers, who is the brother to Johnathon. Will has really bad luck. First season, he was, barely in it because he had been trapped in the Upside Down. Second season, he got possessed by the Mind Flayer. Third season went alright, and then fourth season, he got sentenced to not being in Hawkins and pretty much not doing a whole lot. I think next season, season 5, he'll 100%, he'll be doing more things, all that kind of stuff. Like, I think he's going to be an important character, but yeah, I don't know what to put him based on now. Maybe in front of Suzie. Yeah, in front of Suzie, I think. Oh, now we got the guy that everyone on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everyone defends this guy. This is of course Billy. Billy did maybe one redeeming thing in the last 10 seconds before, he died. And I understand that they were building up a whole thing where you're meant to feel sympathetic for him, but yeah, nah. I look, he's acted great. I really like how he's acted. The character himself, great. Well, no, he's a bad guy, but he's done really well. But Billy, I reckon I actually quite like Billy. But I wouldn't like all these people on the other, Instagram and all that. They were redeeming him for what he did, which I don't think he deserves, but he's still done quite well. So I think his whole character was made really well. I think, yeah, in the middle, great. This might be a very unpopular opinion. I have Argyle next up. Argyle joined season 4, and he's just more of like a friend that Jonathan made while being in the other place apart from Hawkins. I forgot what it was. He's more like a comic relief guy as well. But like I said, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I don't really like Argyle too much. Which is a weird thing to say because I know a lot of people do like him. Yeah, you guys, I think some people are definitely going to be upset with this, but I think he probably goes below. Yeah, I think he goes at end of grade. Next up, we have Joyce, who is the mother of Will and Jonathan, and of course, the second best mother in the series. First being, of course, Steve. Joyce has been there from season 1. I really like her. The amount of care she has for her sons, the amount of effort she is willing to put in to make sure they're safe, all these kinds of things. I think her actor is the main draw card to bring people in, like get a somewhat established actor to come in for this TV show that wasn't guaranteed to do good. There's a good thing they chose her. She did really good. I really like Joyce. I could put her in front of everyone loves, but I think I'll put her in front of Murray. I reckon. As much as I love Murray, I think I'll put her in front. Next up, we have my absolute favorite character, Jim Hopper. I love Jim so much. He can be beaten down over and over again, and he'll get back up just to protect, the ones he loves, like 11. He's great. He can be funny at times. He's serious. He's like the action hero of this movie here. He's an obvious top. He is the king of this tier list. The only person that can challenge Hopper's king status on my tier list is Eddie Munson. Eddie Munson is a rock-loving teenager who has been held back in school for a few years now. He is great, he's likable, he is the D&D master. I love this guy. Of course, most people remember his Master of Puppets, guitar scene, but yeah, he's great. He's funny, lovable. I will would I put him above Steve or below Steve? I reckon below Steve. But yeah, Eddie's great. Next up we got Mike. Mike is of course the leader of the kids from season one. He's the group leader, and since season one he was great. I liked him a lot in season one. The group leader, he really would do anything for his group, including jumping off a cliff, which he would have just died. But however, later on, he kind of feels like he's just become Eleven's boyfriend, and he feels more irrelevant. What did he really do in season four? I do hope they bring him back a little bit more, but he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot since I'd say at least like season two. I think I'll put him. I don't know where I'm putting him. I'll put him above Argyle, I think. Next up, we got Bob, superhero Bob. I love Bob. Bob's great. He's so likable. I'm so. This is a big spoiler again. I'm so sad that he died. He is a great character. I love Bob so much. Famous actor as well. If you don't know, he's Frodo's sidekick. Sam. I'm not gonna even try and say his last name, but Sam from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, he's great. I love him so much. He just wanted to be a superhero. Like, man. Oh, he's definitely top. There's not even like the way I've talked about him. There'd be no surprise to anyone that I'd say he'd be at the top somewhere. It's just where above Dustin? I think above Dustin. Sadly, he was only there for a season. Now we have Dr. Owens. If some of you don't remember, Dr. Owens I think came in season two. Could be. He doesn't do a whole lot in the series, but if you don't remember, he sounds an alarm for all the Demodogs when they're attacking the lab, and he also legally makes 11 Hopper's daughter, and he helps relocate the Byers family. But other than that, he doesn't do a whole lot. He's been more prominent in season four, but other than that, he's kind of meh. Like I don't have much of an opinion on him. I think Mouth Breather sounds really mean to chuck him there, but he hasn't done a whole lot. Next up, we have Nancy. Everyone talks about Steve's character arc change and how his character was made brilliantly, and how his change was really like monumental. Nancy has had a really big character change too. She went from like a rich teenager to more of a like I guess street smart, more wise kind of character, if that makes sense. Her character growth has been quite big, not as big as Steve's, but like I think it's still quite big. After Robin, I think. Next up is Lucas Sinclair, who is part of the original gang. I feel like he has been a little bit more. He hasn't done a whole lot since season 1. However, in season 4, he does have a massive character change where he tries to leave the nerd group that he's in to, become a little bit more popular and all that kind of stuff. He hasn't done a whole lot, but I still like his character quite a bit. I think I'll chuck him in front of the Demogorgon. Next up is the Demodogs, who I really like. The Demodogs are cool. They're like the Demogorgon, but a lot smaller, but a lot faster. These things must hunt in packs, because there's like hundreds of them. The Demodogs literally just, if you get the Demogorgon and a dog and just like slap them together. They don't have the iconic kind of, style that the Demogorgon has. Next up we have Enzo. Enzo started in season 4 and is a prison officer in Russia. If you pay him the right price, he can get you out. He of course, helps Hopper get out, but other than that, he doesn't do a whole lot. I know this is his first season, but yeah, I don't know. He's kind of meh. Now we have Jason, who's the leader of the popular kids and is also the boyfriend to Chrissy. Jason is the main guy, really making all of Hawkins hate Eddie and want to chase down Eddie. He's like the main bad guy apart from Vecna, who's really turned the whole community against Eddie and making Eddie, seem like a murderer. But of course, it's emotionally fueled because his girlfriend died. Next up, we have Yuri. Yuri is, of course, the scam artist himself. The one who, you pay him a lot of money and he'll fly you out of Russia. or just rob you. I mean, that's pretty much what he does. He's similar to Enzo, where they're both from the Russia scene with Hopper and Joyce. He's more of like a loose cannon. He's a little bit wacky. He's a little bit crazy, you know. But is he in front of Enzo? Ah, yes. Well, this one's obvious. Yep, that one's easy. Now we have Erica, which is Lucas's sister. She's very smart, even though she doesn't want to be in the geek kind of nerd crew. She's very smart, very geeky. You don't see enough of her. Like, I'm pretty sure from like season 3 and 4, she appears in like the last 3 episodes. I don't know. I think she'll go last of Grape. Next we have Dr. Clarke. Dr. Clarke, he's the science teacher. He really, feeds the boys into, well, the boys, as in the main crew of kids. He really feeds their, geek addiction. He's pretty cool. Everyone likes Dr. Clarke. The only thing that's missing is that he's not in season 4. Where is he? Huh? Where is he? He better be back for season 5. I'm gonna be very upset if he's not. But where does he go? I think. Hmm. I reckon here next to Lucas. Next up we have Chrissy. Chrissy joins in season 4, but she's only in it for maybe 2 episodes. Although, even though she's only in 2 episodes, the actor does a great job. Her and Eddie, like, they work really well together. And despite only being in it for a short amount of time, I reckon she did pretty well. Like, her character was pretty cool, the actor did well. I reckon she can go right next to Demogorgon. We're in the last 3 now with Fred leading the pack right now. We don't see too much of him. He works at the newspaper with Nancy, and he has a cool backstory that gets shown, but he's not in it for a whole lot of time. He's another victim of Vecna's. He was cool, but I don't know. He needed to be in it longer to really, I guess, make his character, more likable and all that. So I reckon top of mouth breather. Next up, we have number 8, also known as Carly. She has the cool ability to make people see things. So she can make people see butterflies if she really wants, without the butterfly actually being there. She's only in 1 episode though, from either season 2 or 3, and we haven't seen her since. It really seemed like a pointless kind of plot line they drew it out. But I think she'll probably come back for season 5, or it's just something the creators have decided to neglect. Her character's like, it's not really. Yeah, I'll put her in the front of Feed to the Mind Flayer. And finally, for the lucky last. I mean, there's really words could not describe where he should be. Yeah, that's right. Cry about it. All right, cool. Well, thanks, guys. That's my tier list. Yeah, he's staying there. I don't care what you say. But anyway, if you thought differently, just chuck it down in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that stuff's great. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.